Friends, the menu for today is going to be rack of lamb. You're going to love it. This is going to be the first time cooking rack of lamb for you. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. To get the mise en place ready, we're going to be using these ingredients: Brussels sprouts, butter, we have shallots, red onion, clarified butter, we have sun-dried tomatoes, tarragon, we're going to have beef stock, and panko seasoned breadcrumbs. We also have bacon and fig balsamic vinegar, salt, pepper, and garlic, and we'll put this together and create a fabulous meal. First thing we're going to do is we're going to blanch the Brussels sprouts in sugar water, and if they're too big, what we do is we are going to cut them in half. If they're small, you just put them in the water like so, and when you blanch them in sugar water, this will take off the bitterness. That's why a lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts, because they don't know how to cook them correctly. And then we'll stick them in the oven, and it'll turn out just fabulous. I'm going to put the sugar on. I like brown sugar. And we're going to wait for it boiling. Once it starts boiling, then we'll lower the heat after we add the Brussels sprouts, and we'll leave them there for a couple of minutes, and then we take them out and we put them in ice water. That way it'll stop the cooking and it'll preserve the green color. I'm cutting this part off the tip. Then you cut them in half. We'll get rid of the loose leaves. See, like this. Cut this off and cut them in half. These are pretty big. So once this is done, I'm going to blanch them. The water is almost done. Water is ready. The Brussels sprouts are ready, and we're going to place them inside this ice. After you place them in the ice, then you're going to strain them. This will keep the color and stop the cooking process. Sometimes they cut at the bottom of the Brussels sprout with an X. I just cut the tip off. And we'll let this cool. And then transfer in a colander and get rid of the ice water. Here is a rack of lamb. This is about 1 pound. The bigger you get, the better, because you get more meat. This is the part right here where you want to eat. And then I'm going to start with this 1 pound, but you can get it up to 2.5 pounds, depending on what size you buy. Size matter. Now I'm going to teach you how to clean it. This part right here, you have to get rid of this skin. This one's really not that bad, but a lot of them bring a lot of skin, so the best thing to do is you pull it first with your hands to grab the fat, because you don't want to cut this top here, which is the sirloin. The loin part you don't want to cut off, so you want to cut after you pull with your hands. And then using a paring knife, you have to cut away from all this skin, cut all this fat. You have to do it away from you because it's easier and safer. And not try to take the meat, only the fat. I have clean hands. And then to cut the part where the bone is, you have to cut down to here to the bottom. So you do like this. I don't know if you can see it there. You grab the bone here, and you cut along the bone, and you go up, right along the bone to get rid of this meat. You could save this, because this is good meat. See? See how it looks. We'll do the same thing here on this side first. Cut this off. And if you want to take the time and scrape it, you can scrape the bone off. You go down, holding this bone, then you go up. This recipe is from Chef Pierre. He's the one who's teaching this in his channel. If you want to watch his channel, he's wonderful. I watch him all the time. I follow him. Chef Pierre. So you see, you hold, then you bring the knife up. You have to be careful when you go up so you won't cut your fingers. See how they separate? And then you have this part, which is the wonderful meat we're going to enjoy. So then, hold this up. Maybe you can see it. I'm going to have to move the camera up. Now maybe you can see a little better. I placed the camera on top of this can so it'll be higher. And now you can get a better glimpse. So you grab the bone like this. This is already done. Grab it from the back here. See? Then you cut right along this side, in between the bones, and then you go up and cut the rest of the meat. Then you go do the same thing, hold the bone here, go down to the meat, and then up. It doesn't have too much meat, but I'm just separating now because I already did most of it. So you hold the bone, cut down, and then you go up like this. See? That's how it should look. Separate it. See? Then what you need to do is you need to get rid of the silver skin. So in order to get rid of the silver skin, you cut here. You cut here. You get the other one. You cut right here. A little bit. And you try to pull the silver line, the silver skin. Pull it with the knife like this, moving upward. So you can get the silver skin. The pork loin has this as well. They have silk skin, so you have to remove it. This is something you don't want to be chewing on. So you lift up the knife like this while you lift up the silver skin and separate it. You see how you see the meat? You can see the meat right here. Once you get rid of the silver skin, then you have whole meat. It's a little process, but it's worth it. Do it towards the outside. Try not to do it towards you. I was doing it like this because that way the camera could catch. But maybe you can see it from here. See? And move forward. And get rid of the silver skin. So you get rid of this silver skin. Okay friends, now that this is done, we're going to season the meat with salt and pepper. And then we're going to sear the meat in clarified butter. Front and back, salt and pepper. Always clean your hands. I've been washing my hands and using this clean towel because this meat is kind of slippery, and that way you could work better when you clean your hands and wash them. Plus it's healthy. I got my meat done. Now people think when you sear meat, they always say, oh, sear the meat so you could lug in the juices. And what Jean-Pierre always says is that when you sear the meat, it's not logging in the juices. The juices are going to go in the middle of the meat, just like the same way you put it in the oven. And then it's creating the Maillard reaction. And this is only for flavor. It's not sealing anything. And then that's why when you take the meat out from the oven or from the pan, you want to let it sit and rest so all those juices will come back to normal. And then you could cut it. You don't cut a piece of meat right after it's cooked because you see all the juices going to come out. You have to let it rest for 5-10 minutes and then you cut your meat. That's the Maillard reaction. That's searing your meat. That's what that means. Not locking in the juices. The juices are going to be in there anyways. They're not going anywhere unless you cut the meat right through with the knife. So I'm going to get the pan heat up with clarified butter, and then we're going to do the quick searing, and then we'll be sticking it in the oven, and we'll go on from there. Now we're going to start searing the meat. We are going to do it with clarified butter, and we're going to get a temperature of 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we want this clarified butter to go all the way to 350 degrees. It's about there. See? 350. And then we are going to put the rack of lamb very slowly to sear it. Whenever this happens, you can remove the pan away from the heat. So that way you won't get splattered. This is going to give it a nice sear. Anytime you start putting in, meat on the oil, you leave it. Don't touch it. Give it a time. Because if you start fighting with it, then it's going to get stuck to the pan. And this is a way of searing the meat, locking in the flavors, the Maillard reaction. This will create a great taste for this meat. They do this in every restaurant. Always searing the meat. If you don't sear the meat, it's not going to taste the same as you cook it otherwise. Now you can move it. You see how easily it moves? Look at that. It's so beautiful. It's only going to be for a few minutes. Ain't that a beauty? This is the first time I'm cooking this for you guys. So I hope you like it. Next time I'll have more experience. And the knife that I was using, in case you wonder, you need a slicer, which I didn't have, and a boning knife. Those are the two knives that is really good for this kind of job. That's why I was having a little hard time cutting it. It seemed like the knife did not have any edge files or anything, but it's because I wasn't using the right knife. I have to get them. This is wonderful. Look how beautiful. Now, if you want to take the time to clean all these bones, you can do it. And then we'll stand it up here and get this edge done. This is going to be cooked in the oven. That's why we don't need to cook it for a long time here. This is only searing it. Searing all the edges. And once it comes out of that oven, it's going to be like magic. What do you think so far? You guys like it? You're gonna write on the comments? Alright, good enough. It's getting too hot now. We're gonna set it aside. I'm gonna take it out of here and put it in a plate and let it cool. Place it here in the plate for now. Look at this. A work of art. Okay, we have more clarified butter now in the pan. Clarified butter is a high burning point oil. It will not smoke up. And all it is the clarified butter is that the protein milk is removed. That's why it's called clarified butter. So now we're going to add the bacon. What do you say? If you have butter, why are you going to add the bacon? Because he says there's going to be more flavor. I'm taking it away from the heat for now because it's very hot. This is going to be amazing. Well, you don't want to burn the bacon, just render the fat. Because then we're going to cook this together with the pretzel sprouts in the oven. So you just want to render it a little bit, not burn them or cook them. And we're going to add red onions. I like to use red onions when I cook Indian food. When I cook my chicken biryani, I have a video on that. That's what I like to use, red onions. My chicken biryani. Now we're going to add the pretzel sprouts. I tried them and they taste really good. Once you use that sugar, they don't taste bitter anymore. I have a video from Chef Pierre. He made beef stew with pretzel sprouts. Oh my God, it was amazing. He says you can do the same recipe with spinach. With bacon, oil, or clarified butter, salt, pepper, and your red onions. He says it's amazing. Now we're going to add a little salt and pepper. And black pepper. Saute them. You don't want to fry them. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna place the pretzel sprouts in this pan. We're gonna spread them, because then we're gonna drizzle the fig vinegar. The balsamic vinegar will give it a great taste. A little bit of spread them. Once you finish spreading them, they smell good and they're not even done. Then I have the balsamic vinegar, fig. Some of them go up to 18 years. I have another balsamic vinegar is 18 years old. So you drizzle it all around for a great taste. You can do this, remember, with spinach. Or if you don't like Brussels sprouts, you can use green beans. Some people don't like Brussels sprouts. And then this is ready to go in the oven. Before that, I'm gonna work on the raglan, because they both go in the oven at the same time. They cook around the same time. And the raglan, you should see how soft it is. It's incredible. Okay, friends, now what we're gonna do is prepare the breadcrumb. Chef Pierre has a recipe for his breadcrumb. He buys a loaf of bread and he cuts it fresh bread. He doesn't use old bread, because why would you want to eat old bread? What I found was panko, and it has pecorino romano. He says a little bit salty, but the one that he uses is Parmigiano Reggiano. That's the one that he uses. But I found this one, and since the video was going to be long, I figure I'll use this. Panko is pretty good. I used it before. This is 4 different types of breads. And then he says to mix that up with garlic. I just chopped some garlic, fresh dried sun tomatoes. These are the soft ones. He says do not buy the extra hard ones that you have to be hydrating, because why would you have to be hydrating it? This is good enough. And I got cilantro. He says to put fresh herbs, so I have cilantro here. And the garlic, I already chopped up. I'm going to put it in the food processor. And he says to make a whole bunch of it, as much as you want. He says to make a whole batch, because he says you can freeze it. You can't put it in the fridge, but you can freeze it. And he says it'll last you 17 years. So I'm going to add in the garlic. He has a garlic paste too, a recipe that he has on his channel. I did it also. And then I'll add the sun-dried tomatoes, since this is wet. And I'll put in the cilantro. And I'm going to mix this up, and I'll be right back. I mixed it up already. Then I'm going to add the breadcrumbs. Okay, panko. I'll make some more later. I'll mix this and I'll be right back. My spouse's brother and his sister-in-law gave me this wonderful food processor. I love it. This is the first time I use it. I wanted to use it for this program, for this video. It's awesome. All you do is push up on the top and it starts on. And it smells so good. See, this is what it looks like. Great breadcrumbs. You can smell the tomato. Delicious. And this is to prepare our rack lamb. Thank you, Douglas and Adriana, for this wonderful Hamilton Beach. I love it. Look at this. It's beautiful. Chef Pierre makes this breadcrumb, and he has a recipe with tomato pie, and he also uses it on a recipe he has for salmon. He says it's really good if you add this on there. You bread it and you cook it, and it's perfect. Now we're gonna get ready to prepare the rack of lamb, and that way we could put the mustard. It has to have Dijon mustard, and then we're gonna pack it up and put it in the oven together with the Brussels sprouts. Here's the rack of lamb. First we're gonna do is we're gonna dry it. We have to dry the meat because the thing is a lot of people leave the fat on, and what happens is when you put the crumbs, once it melts, all the crumbs go away into the pan, and then they don't stay on there. So the best thing you have to do is dry it. Dry it with a paper towel, and that way the breadcrumbs will stick better together with the Dijon mustard. It's very tender, so it's going to be really good by the time it comes out of the oven. Okay, now I got it a little dry. I'm going to put a thin layer of Dijon mustard. You want to put too much. If you hear the noise in the background, that's my 5 pugs. They're around me, and the mom is always coughing. She just woke up, and it's 7 o'clock at night. She sleeps all day. Her name is Victoria Marie. They've been on some of my videos. You see? Right in here. This way the breadcrumbs will stick better. Okay, I got the breadcrumbs right here. Gotta pack it up. Make them stick, but when you take it out of the oven, it'll be nice and crunchy. You pack it up good. And then, if you think it's not going to stay on the side, what you have to do is use the bench scraper. And then just push it in. And put it on this side so you see it on the side camera. See it there? Pack it in. And press it. And this will keep it nice and tight. When you take it out of the oven, it's going to have some nice crunch. Beautiful looking. Wow, so beautiful work of art. First time doing this, folks. Victoria White, we just stirred in the piece. See? Now it's just gonna go on top of a cookie sheet. I have it all set. Here's my cookie sheet. Put places here and then pick it up like this and place it right in the middle. The oven is preheating. It should be ready anytime. When you hear a beep 3 times, that means that it's there, ready to be used. Because before I used to stick food inside the oven and it wasn't even ready yet. Okay, folks, 20 minutes. Let's see what happens. Goodness gracious, look at this beauty. A rack of lamb. And we have the Brussels sprouts. Look at this beauty. Oh my God, sizzling hot. Wonderful. Now we're going to work on the sauce. top of the board to let it cool, like we said before. Guys, we're almost done with this recipe. Now we need to do is prepare the sauce. This wine, I'm going to use one of them, the French wine. This was given from our friends from Aventura. A beautiful case. Wine from France, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. Beautiful. Thank you, Ricardo and Ruben Alfonso. Hello friends, now we are ready to make the sauce, and the last step is to make the sauce. This is the best thing because everybody that goes to a restaurant, they always say how amazing the food tastes, and I think out of all the videos that I've seen in YouTube, basically it's just because of the basic sauce, the reduction of the wine, which is what he teaches us, and that's what I'm about to do now. The reduction of wine. And this is going to be amazing sauce to pour over the rack of lamb and the Brussels sprouts. You're going to love it. Okay, now for the sauce. This is the butter that I like to use. This is the best butter for me. The butter from Ireland, Irish butter. We're gonna put butter first in the pan to make this wonderful sauce. This one has garlic and herb. Put half of the butter stick in the pan. Now you have to look at it. I'm going to put it on low because it's very high and you can't let it burn. You have to look at it. It smells so good. I love this butter. Once you melt this butter, then you're going to pour in your shallots. The shallots are going to make it smell so good. I lowered the heat a little bit to medium-low. These are the shallots. Wonderful shallots. I'm going to pour in the shallots. And when you mix the shallots and the butter, it's the best smell ever. They go hand by hand. Fabulous. Smells so good. Smells really good. I'm going to raise up the heat to about medium high. This is the last segment. See how nice it looks? Absolutely amazing. Now you don't want it to burn. I'm going to move it away from the heat. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit to add the next item. Now you add a touch of garlic. Now you know you add the garlic before you add the liquid. Mix it in here. Oh, smells wonderful. You cannot let the garlic burn. Once you smell the aroma, that's it. You have to release it and move it away from the hot fire before you add the liquid. Do not cook with a wine you're not willing to drink. You pour the half, the next half you have for aperitifs, and the second bottle you have for the dinner. You see? Now we're going to cook this wine, and we have to reduce the wine. Reducing the wine takes a little time. You have to do it because if you taste it and it's sour, it's not ready yet. You have to taste it after the alcohol has been evaporated, and then once that has happened, then you could add the other ingredients. And in this case, we're going to add beef stock. So how do you know it's reducing? And it tastes good, you have to taste it. You have to taste it a couple of times. If it's sour, it's not ready. You have to let it reduce a little bit. Let me lower the heat because it's too high. It smells amazing. Let's taste. Second taste. It's tasting better, just like he says. The palate, you have to train your palate to taste the sauce. You have to reduce the wine first because otherwise you cannot add the beef stock because it's not going to work. First you have to reduce the alcohol. The more you taste it, the better it tastes. Once that bitterness is out and the alcohol has been evaporated, then you could add your beef stock. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you add it with a bitter wine, no matter how good it is, it's not going to work. And he always says and stresses that you're cooking with a wine that you're willing to drink, not the wine that is bad or cheap, because it's not going to make it taste any better. Capiche? It's tasting better all the time. Little by little, see? It's beautiful. We're almost done, folks. Okay, the more you try the wine, the better it tastes. Once that alcohol has been evaporated, then you use tarragon. Tarragon is one of the ingredients that goes well with the reducing of the red wine. Now, if you don't have tarragon, you could use thyme, you could use rosemary, but tarragon is one of the best, he says, that works with it better. It's amazing, delicious. Now we're going to add the beef stock because we have to add it to the pot. So I'm going to heat it up a little bit. Original beef stock. I usually make my own, but just for the video I just bought this at the store to make it faster. Heat it up a little bit, and then I'm going to add it to the pot here for more flavor. Very good. Add the beef stock because the wine has reduced. Now it tastes pleasant. Then I'm going to stir. To mix it all in. And if it's very liquidy, what do I have to do? Just add cornstarch. Make a slurry. And with the slurry it'll thicken up. Use any thickener. Any thickener out there in the market. It will help you thicken the sauce. Okay. It's still watery. but I'm gonna thicken it with cornstarch. You have to add it to the boiling pot. It cannot be cold. It has to be boiling. It's boiling now, so now you could add a little bit and stir it. You have to do it in little bits, not all of it at once. And it's going to thicken. It takes a little while, but you have to be patient to create this wonderful sauce. A little bit more. This is on like medium low. A little bit more. I'm going to add all of it. Keep stirring. Create this beautiful sauce. This is a secret to all the restaurants. When you go and you taste that wonderful sauce, this is all the steps that they take to make the food taste so much better. And no one takes the time to do it because they don't know. That's why Chef Pierre says he's taking the time to teach you all these extra steps so when you cook at home, you will impress everyone. You can feel it thickening. Then we're going to strain it because he wants a smooth sauce. Chef Pierre says people will leave whatever is left in here, but we could strain it and then make a nice sauce. And at the end, he adds the butter. When you add the butter at the end, you have to stir it, and this will give you a nice glaze, nice consistency. And it's the best thing ever for your sauce. You can feel it getting thicker as you stir. See? Look. It's getting thicker. It's creating the nappé in the French culinary. Nappé is when the sauce sticks to the back of the spoon. This one's not ready yet, but it's getting there. You have to be patient. Tastes really good. Still stirring, getting thicker. See? Beautiful sauce. We're almost there, folks. Okay, now we're going to strain it to have a nice smooth sauce. It's going to be wonderful. Turn the heat off. So you want to strain it so you can have a nice velvety sauce. That's what they serve you at the restaurant and you go crazy over it. That's all. It's a wine reduced sauce. And you pay so much money for it when you could do it at home with the help of Pierre. Chef Pierre, 50 years of experience. He could teach you how to do it. And you could impress your husband, your wife, whoever you want to impress in your house, your kids, your family, friends, just by doing restaurant cooking. You could cook like a chef from a restaurant. Look at all this. You don't want to eat all this. You could eat it. People eat it too. But it's better to have the sauce. The velvety sauce at the end on top of the rack of lamb. Look at this beauty. Ain't that a beauty? That's what you want. This is what people pay for at the restaurants. High prices. Because they don't know how to do it. And Pierre teaches us how to do it. Capiche? Look at this. Look at this beautiful sauce. Look at this. Oh my God. See? It's wonderful. Beautiful. Oh my God, so nice. I'm so glad I do videos for YouTube. I learned how to cook ever since I started 3 years ago. The best. Look at this sauce. Now it's time to add the butter. My favorite butter, Irish butter. And this, when you add the butter at the end to the sauce, you have to stir quickly. Otherwise, it's gonna separate. This is what gives it that shine and that wonderful flavor to the sauces. You have to stir it quickly. And the salt is, and look how nice and silky. You get that silky sauce that everybody pays for. High prices at the restaurants. You can make it at home. With Chef Pierre's help, he will tell you how to do it. He'll walk you through it, and you'll be a professional cook at your own home. Look at this. Oh my God, look at this. See? This is called a nappe in French cuisine. When it sticks to the spoon. This is what you pay for high prices. For this wonderful sauce. Capiche? Just add a little more salt and pepper. Stir. And this is a fabulous sauce. Look at this. Look at this. This is the best part of the whole menu. It's exclusive, expensive, luxurious, fascinating. Very Kardashian. Oh my God. If you could taste this, good, you would do it every day. Every day. Now we're going to see how the raclette turned out. It smells amazing. Now we're going to cut the rack of lamb. See how it turned out. First time cooking. Oh my God, it's wonderful. I like medium rare. This is wonderful. I love it. Look at this. Look at this beauty. And the next. Let's Same. Look at this, a masterpiece. I love it. Look at this. I want to create a plate and then I'll show you. Beautiful. Look at this. Amazing. Smells so good. And the Brussels sprouts. Don't forget them. They're part of this wonderful dish. Thanks for Pierre. This is the wonderful rack lamb. Thank you, Pierre, Chef Pierre, who guided me through his videos to create this beautiful masterpiece. Then we have the sauce that we will pour on top of this beautiful rack of lamb to give it more flavor. It's wonderful. Look at this sauce. Isn't it beautiful? Like a restaurant style. It's amazing. Thank you, Pierre, Chef Pierre. Thank you for everybody that has helped me make all these videos, supported me, giving me ideas. Thank you to my family and friends and co-workers. Thank you very much. God bless you.